Well, prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Media's here, and yeah, let me just start off by just saying, yeah, it's been a while since I've done this, and I'm glad to have been doing it again. I'm gonna put these glasses on again later on. There's a lot of updates and a lot of exciting things is about to be happening on the show. But I want to just start. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna get right to it. So I'm gonna just say, prepare yourself, guys. This is Chris. This is talking through the media's live. I am live. So if you know what, I don't know if I can see any. I see there's people participating. I see there's people saying something. So if you want to say something, you got something to say, you can definitely put it in the comment section because we're going to go over a lot of stuff. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about Brie Larson, Shazam, Captain Marvel movies, the support, the hate, the fake hate, the backlash. Is it real? Is it worth our time? Is it even necessary? Is it what she deserves? It may not Brie Larson. It might not be what you want, but it might be what you deserve, according to a lot of people. And a lot of people are smarter than me. Not many, but there are some that are out there who are smarter than me who are like, Brie Larson deserves everything that she's getting right now. Am I one of these people? You're gonna find out in a second. Another thing is we're going to talk about. I gotta go. I have a whole script of things I'm gonna run through. We're gonna do rumors and specs, a whole Lady Gaga thing that was going on with the Oscars. We're gonna run down the 5 things that you weren't even really paying attention at the Oscars that you should have been paying attention. That was way more important than that. And then we're gonna go through some We Got Your Mail questions. I got a lot of questions, and we are also doing something very special for We Got Your Mails, because when you send us a question in at We Got Your Mail, if you do it the official way, the way that I ask you, because most of you guys just hit me up on Twitter, you hit me up on Facebook, you hit me up on YouTube. I love the YouTube. I love the YouTube ones a lot because I love interacting on YouTube, because that's what it's all about, right? But if you interact with me and send me an official question on my email, if you send me an official question with the question mark at the end of it, and at mail@t3medias.com, now from this point on, you will be entered into a chance to win a gift card, or maybe a Visa gift. AMC. I like AMC, or your theater of your choice if you're not an AMC person. But if you're a movie goer, you're a movie lover, you want to go out to the movies, you want to go watch Brie Larson hate white men at the movie theaters, I will get you a gift card and pay, and help pay for that popcorn, that drink, take that date out, show a good time, and show that you really care. And the best question will get the gift card. If it's the only question of the week, you're definitely gonna get the damn card. Or or maybe I'll mix it up into a raffle. I'll pick the top email questions that I got, pick the right one, or pick the winner, the right one. I guess if you are the winner, you are the right one, and you will win that gift card and go have a good time at the movies. It's the summertime, man. It's revving up. So it's getting there, man. So you don't want to not be at the movie theaters. You don't want to be looking like a bum. You want to go out there. You want to get your popcorn on. You want to get your soda, drink and stuff. It's expensive. And without further ado, let's get started with this whole thing for talking through the media. So the I gotta laugh already because the thing that's going on with this is just so ridiculous to me. Brie Larson is getting all this fake clickbait hate for Captain Marvel on something that she said or didn't say. Let's see what she said. What did she say? She said, what's everybody else? If you're watching everybody else on YouTube, and if they're the wise one, and like I said, I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot of things. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I can read. So I'm looking at all these YouTube thumbnails that says Brie Larson hates white men. Oh man, her grandfather must have hated hearing that. Does she have any brothers? Ooh, hey, Whitey. Hey, I know you raised me, but I hate you, right? It's been known to happen before. Maybe she's joined some party that just turned her back on her whole family. But let's see what she said. She said that on an interview of another movie. I think it was what was that Oprah Winfrey movie. Look, this movie was so bad. I even did a thing where I didn't even see it. I did a review of the movie and I didn't even see the movie. It's a movie that I can't even remember the name of the movie. Help me out, guys. What was this movie that Oprah Winfrey did? It was Disney. All these people were in it, and it was a little girl, and the guy from Star Trek, the guy from the new Star Trek movies was in it. It was such a bad looking film. I didn't even remember in the memory base, but I heard that she was on the set of that. Was she in the movie? I don't know. But it was I'm promoting that. And she goes, you know what? I wish that, I'm paraphrasing here. I wish that we could have a world where if a movie has a certain type of theme or a certain type of audience or cast, I mean, that I'm tired of just seeing outlets from the same outlets, mostly outlets from the same people. When you have a whole bunch of outlets that targets that has a fan base that's the same demographic and target audience. If it's a movie that has an all black cast, like Black Panther, for example, and black people are really excited and going to see this, and they also subscribe to these black outlet things. I mean, T3 Media is not a black outlet. It's run and owned by it's by a black guy. I just happen to be black, but I need you to judge me by the content of my mother character instead of the color of my skin, unless the government is giving me a grant and saying because you are a black man running stuff on YouTube you will get $1 million, and I would say yes, I will take the black owned. This will be the BET3 medias in a mother minute, but that's not happening, so everybody's included, right? I don't even watch BET. Surprise. Look, she said that I want to see more outlets on those types of outlets who have those target people, and to be more included in this conversation more. I'm only seeing the same people. I like talking to these people. I'm paraphrasing. Maybe she didn't say that. Maybe she actually said, I hate these people. That's what y'all out there are saying. People are clicking on the clickbait. That's what they saying. She said she hates these people. I read that thing up and down. I don't got it in front of me because I don't need to read it out loud anymore. It's been read to death. There's a bunch of truth out there and there's a bunch of lies out there. But this is what's really going on that's got me a little. I'm not gonna lie. I contemplated before making the T3 meetings when it was talking through the movies and all that stuff. I contemplated making this channel a channel where it would just be all about trolling or talking trash and just bringing up live. But I don't got time for that. I don't have time to. They always say that you don't have to remember the truth. You only have to really remember a lie and stuff. I don't have time to BS like that. I deal with people BSing all the time in real estate. So, but the beautiful thing about being a troll is the internet remembers it for you. You don't really just go back and look what I said. It was BS. Bang, it was bang. Who cares? Like you got a InfoWars for that crap, right? I don't have time for all that. So for a person to create a channel or create not even if it's the theme of the channel, just that they see an opportunity and they go, there's blood in the water, and I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. Here's part one of the BS of it. A lot of these people are going, we're going to boycott Captain Marvel because she said she hates white people. She never said that, for one. But it doesn't matter. But right after you read the one little part of it that kind of you can attack on, forgetting the whole thing that she actually said, you see blood in the water, you go for it. Then you already have the hateful, nasty things that you're going to say to gin up clicks and gin up views. Then, just in case Brie Larson's probably going to make a response to it, you already have your response to her response ready to go. Before she even says anything, a lot of these people, there's this girl has her channel, she has nice looking hair that I'm jealous of and whatnot. She's one of. There was another channel. I just became a subscriber to this guy. Oh, I forgot his name, but he's a white dude, and he went totally to the other side of it. I thought he was one of these people too that was going to gin it up, but he totally went on my way of thinking. He even does these skits where he was pretending to be a redneck. Hey, stop messing with your sister. And then I hate Brie Larson and blah blah. And we got Wakanda people over here messing up the Oscars. It cracked me. I mean, but he was being funny about it. But so I subscribed to that dude because he was actually telling the truth. He read what she said and was like, she never said nowhere in there that she hates white people. A lot of people will just show a messed up picture of Brie Larson, just her looking mad and stuff, looking all toe up, no makeup, or whatever y'all try to do, and just zoom it in real slow. And the guy's like, this is evidence that Brie Larson has said that she hates white people. She doesn't want them to be interviewing her or do this and that. Then when she comes up with her response to it and goes, guys, I wasn't talking about taking seats away from these outlets. I was talking about adding more seats. Oh no, here comes Brie Larson with her spin. The only people who are, if you read what she said or saw what she said, if it was a video, and you still say to this day, Brie Larson said she hates white people. You're the one with the agenda, not her. And here's another thing that I really wanted to talk about on this. I had to write this stuff down because this is just clickbait nonsense. Even you're trying to pin up. This is when you know you have an agenda. We're gonna go make Shazam do better than Captain Marvel. Well, that's great. If Shazam is better, then they'll let it do better. That's great, but not for no agenda like this. If she said that, then fine. If you don't want to support her, that's fine. Don't see the movie or whatever. But don't act like you're some hardcore Marvel fan and you're doing it for the good of it's for the culture. We're doing it for the culture of Marvel and making sure that the MCU is pure again, right? Don't act like you're doing it for that. You're doing it for clicks. That's all you're doing it for. You know that getting people who are angry or who want to be revved up about something crazy is easier to get them to look at your channel, look at your stuff. And I don't expect this video to do a tenth of what the other people that have done saying that she said this thing that she never said. I don't expect this video right now to come close. I expect 20 views, maybe 5. Who knows? Who cares? I'm still going to talk about it. But you guys are out there watching these videos of these people saying this stuff that never was said. They only have that, a Rotten Tomatoes thing that they just started where it goes, people who say they want to see this movie. And you can click on that. The same person can click on that 1,000 times. A person who just hates Brie Larson's face, just doesn't like the way she chews her food, doesn't like the way she slurps her soup, and just doesn't understand it. It's a chemical thing. Every time I see her, I just want to rip my arm off so I can have something to throw at her. I'm going to get on that website, click it until that thing ticks down. 50% want to see it. It's now 40, now 35. We're making progress, guys. Keep on trolling. And that's all you're doing. And then you get other people to join the bandwagon. Well, it's already going down. Let's help it go down further. Hey, we got it down to 35. Hey, we got to go down to 36. Hey, Rotten Tomatoes just took it off. Yeah, they took it off because it's easily manipulated by all you liars who say you're not going to see the movie. That goes to my next point. 90% of those people who say I'm not going to watch this movie, I saw one person comment and say, I'm going to give this movie what it deserves. I'm going to stream it illegally. I'm going to pirate it online and watch it at home. You were going to do that anyway. And you probably did that for the Avengers and all these other movies that you said you saw at the theater. You probably writing out a blog and saying, "Oh, this was the greatest movie." Everybody had fun in your living room. Everybody had fun while you watching a movie that's be all shaky cam because the dude couldn't. Had to hide the camera before the theater manager caught him, and he pulled it back up and put the camera on. And then the guy in the front row turned around and was like, "Hey, watch this. This is the best part." And went back to watching the movie, and you could barely see Thanos. You were doing that anyway. I'm talking to you. And you were going to do that anyway. So don't act like you on the internet acting like some soldier trying to make the MCU great again. You were going to do that anyway. And the other half of y'all that's saying, I'm not going to see Captain Marvel at theaters, you're lying. You're going. You're all going to go. And let me move on to the next part of this rant of why you're a bunch of liars and just opportunists and clickbaiters. Because the most of you are just gonna go, this is what's really going on. I don't like Brie Larson because of this blah 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 that she said or maybe did not say, but I don't care. I like getting on the bandwagon, so I'm not gonna support the movie, and that's gonna hurt her. What are you talking about? Who else is on this? Is it just did Brie Larson produce, direct, write, create the character? Is she Stan Lee? Is she the screenwriter? Is she all these people? No. Last time I checked, Brie Larson was not Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Feige, and all the rest of the rest. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The list that goes on and on of the people that you're really hurting. the food caterer and that brought food to the people while they were acting, the writer of the movie, Kevin Feige himself, Eric Geiger, the Disney. I mean Disney. You're hurting them. But I mean, if this movie is garbage, then don't watch it. Yeah, I'll give it a bad rating too. If this movie is good, and you're trying to do this, then you just to hurt it, then you have an agenda. I mean, and good is subjective. Yeah, I'm a follower of John Campea, so I'm gonna say just like he says, all film is subjective. Maybe the movie might be good for me, but maybe you might think it sucks. But if the movie checks all the boxes of what makes a good MCU movie, and the same things were checked for previous movies that you watched, I'm talking to the troll right now, that you've given a pass to, if it's kind of better, if it's better than Iron Man, or if it's better than Ant-Man and all these other movies and whatnot, maybe not better than Avengers, but better than this, and maybe not, if it's still kind of in that medium of a decent, great Disney, Marvel movie, and you're like, I'm still gonna try to thumb it down because of Brie Larson, of what she did or what she said. Let's say she 100% said this. Then you would have an argument of why you don't want to support, because I don't want that being represented in my Marvel movies. And that's damn right true. I probably wouldn't support her in that case, but she didn't say that. And for something that she didn't say, only sources on this. Let me see. Let's see. Brie Larson hates white men. Let's click. All right, talk. Okay, what was it? I had a whole list. I mean, what about Samuel L. Jackson? What about all these other people who you're throwing under the bus for something she never said? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And people are like, oh, now Rotten Tomatoes, they took away that meter. You see, it's a big cover up. It's a big conspiracy. The tinfoil hat is it's stuck. And it's like, oh, now that Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, they took it down because one person can vote 1,000 times. And then if you get 1,000 idiots who want to just dumb down the movie for something she never said, maybe she could have said it better. But I got no problem with her saying we need to add more outlets, because if she gets what she wants, then an outlet like me could be invited to that. I ain't getting invited over there. Disney haven't called me and whatnot, because I'm not Vanity Fair. I'm not all these other people. So if Brie Larson gets what she wants, I have a better chance of getting a phone call. Can I see Black Panther 2? Before, can I go out there? Can my channel do something? Because that's why I want Brie Larson to succeed on what she actually said and what she actually meant. Because that means outlets like that, other outlets that have a targeted story, especially if I don't care if it doesn't have to be a black movie or a female movie, whatever the movie is. There's Hispanic films. There's films that are made in Ireland, and then this and that. I mean, all these cultures and all these different types of of platforms. And then you have outlets that target those platforms. It just makes sense to include them if you're not already including them. Does that make sense? If you did a Black Klansman movie and didn't invite any of the outlets to go see that movie, only the major ABC, NBC, or whatever the news sources are and whatnot, and it was always the same. Not to insult the white guy or white woman or whatever that went out there to do the review. Her opinion matters too. But if you have a demographic of an audience that's mostly going to see this movie, you might want to get the word out to them. Based on what they're probably watching and reading. Like I said, T3 Medias is not one of those. This is not a blacks only thing. It just happens to be ran by a black dude. But let's say T3 Medias was a BET type or a Jet Magazine type of outlet, right? It's full of culture, you know what I'm saying? World Star, whatever you want to say, right? Let's say it was that. And I'm never getting invited. If Black Panther 2 is about to come out, all these other outlets are getting their demographics and whatnot. And some black people are watching and whatnot. But I'm like, if I said like 99% of my audience is that audience that you're trying to target, women, Hispanics, or blacks, or whites, whatever it is, whatever the group is. If I said 99% of my audience is that, 99% of my audience watches YouTube. And you're making a movie about YouTube watchers. And I got all these people. Let's say I'm the number one bringer of all the YouTube people into the fold, and I'm never getting invited to this to see this movie and whatnot. And the people you're trying to target, I have my finger on the pulse right there, and I can't get in, and I can't talk to these actors and get this the word out and help you out. What if forget you then? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let your movie fail then. Then fuck your movie then. Fuck your movie. I've said that to a movie creator before. When I knew that it was out of spite and stuff, and they just trying to get money, they knew their stuff was gonna fail, then they tag or flag me, my little outlet or whatever, my channel at 2,183 subscribers that I love. Keep subscribing. I hit the like button. But yet you don't go after the bigger channels who have millions of viewers and stuff who would do the exact same reaction kind of thing that I did. You attack me. Okay. Then I said the same thing. Oh, fuck you then. All right, go. Bye. All right. I'm not gonna watch a movie, which I didn't. I'm not gonna write about it, which I did. After that, I didn't. I did one little video explaining what happened and what I was pissed off about. And that was it. I'm not even gonna mention the name of that movie. Because I don't think they deserve any kind of recognition. Not from one person who might be watching me or 1,000 people who may watch me later. Who cares about them? And that's how I feel. And if Brie Larson said that about white people, then yeah. Then her brothers, if she has any, or her sisters, if she has any, her cousins who might be married, who might be white men or women married to white men or whatever, her dad or whatever, if he's still around, she'd be like, "What the hell is your problem?" And they all should be like, "Well, y'all, you just being stupid." But she didn't say that. So anybody else that's saying that she said that just to be saying that she said it is just that you got to look at their agenda. They're trying to piss you off so they can get those clicks and those views, because it's easy. I can say something right now and half of y'all be like, "Did Chris say that? Did he say that? Oh, I don't watch this. It's going to world star." Dude, it's too easy. But let somebody say something reasonable. Then it's like, "You got a motherfucking agenda. You got a motherfucking agenda." If you're the one spreading those lies, if I tell you that's not what it says, and here it is right here, how the hell do I got an agenda? I don't got an agenda. I got the truth. And you're like, no. Click. That's easy. All right. I'd rather spread my stuff on the truth, man. And if any all y'all trolls out there saying I'm not gonna watch Captain Marvel and I hate Shazam now because y'all are trolling him now too for showing support, the guy who wasn't he the original wasn't Shazam the original Captain Marvel? What was that thing about him being Captain Marvel for? And he probably just when he was doing the movie and doing his research on his character, he found that out and whatnot, and then just keeping in the back of his mind, probably kept an eye on what was going on with Captain Marvel. But what he said was 100%. Zachary Levi. What he said was 100% on point. Don't try to support me by downing her for no reason, especially on something she didn't say. You're not helping anything. You're not helping nothing. If we see another good movie, a good comic book movie, then you're gonna want to see the next one. So if Captain Marvel sucks and everybody's going on that, and then Captain Marvel comes into Avengers and stuff, you're gonna not see the Avengers now too? The second she flies her happy lit up ass into the scene with Iron Man, I'm closing my eyes. You're lying. You a motherfucking liar. That's a little inside joke that me and my friends are always saying when we're playing the video game, when we mess with each other. It's like, I'm not gonna watch Captain Marvel. You're a goddamn liar. You're lying. You're a liar. You're gonna be right there front row, hoping that all of your subscribers and who clicked and watched and supported that rant, they don't see you. Because if I see you out there, if I catch you at the movie theater after you was posting on Twitter, you Facebook, anybody who was watching, and you was like, I'm not gonna watch that because Brie Larson hates white people, and what is this? This is an attack on me. This is the greatest country in the world, and I'm white, and what about my problems and stuff? And there's a million crap. You know how many starving people out in the world, and some real stories that's really going on. And we over here talking about your struggle about buying a movie ticket. This struggle is real. Oh, the struggle is real. Oh, my decision on whether or not to buy this movie ticket versus that movie ticket. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me in humanity. Oh my God. Oh, forget about Vietnam, World War II, 9/11, thousands of people, millions of people dying of starvation every day and all that stuff. I'm going to do my Shazam and Captain Marvel. Oh my God. I don't like that. And there's bigger things in the world. Some of y'all trolls have to be the most conceited people that I've ever met in my life. And it's all about your stupid, made up struggle. This is about making the comic books okay. Like, you sound like Kardashians. I want it to be okay for me. Forget the director's vision. It's about me. I'm the one guy buying the ticket. Well, he ain't worried about you buying that ticket. That director, he or she ain't worried about you buying that ticket. They worried about millions of people. I got to make this for everybody. I'm not just going to make this for John Smith or whatever over there in whatever state and in whatever town, just for you. You'll be fine. And just if the movie sucks, it sucks. But if it's good and you're going to tell people it sucked because you don't like what that girl didn't say, you suck. Like, what do you think this is, man? People have this need to be the sun, and everything has to evolve around them and stuff. You don't want to be a person like a normal person and adapt and evolve and grow with the world. And when the world is changing, I'm gonna help change it and make it a better place, or I'm gonna die trying. No, everything has to stop. You're the kind of person that'll get out in the middle of traffic and like Eddie Murphy on Coming to America. Halt! I'd have ran your ass. Boom! Get the fuck out the way. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, everybody just gonna stop because the royal penis is clean? What the hell is wrong with you? Everything has to stop. I don't want Samuel L. Jackson to make any money. I want Kevin Feige to fail. As long as Brie Larson is on the screen saying the things that I know she didn't say, everything has to stop. Idiots, man. Idiot and or liar. Or you're a liar. Because y'all are going to be there. All y'all trolls that said all that crap, you're going to be there. You're going to be there. You're going to be right there, front line with your popcorn, with your buttery ass fingers, waiting for Brie Larson to get on the screen to do whatever you're going to do in the dark. And that's just the truth about that. And you know it. So don't lie. just stop lying. I wish I knew that dude that sing that song, Why You Fucking Lying. I just wish I knew that guy, because I would play it on each and every one of y'all trolls channels, man, because all y'all doing is lying. And I'm sorry, I went way longer on that topic than I knew I should have and wanted to, but I had to get that off my chest because y'all lying. All y'all trolls if I can reach out to one of y'all trolls and I want to have a dialogue, send me an email. Email me at mail@t3medias.com and say, Chris, you have an agenda. You have an agenda. Your agenda is to make Brie Larson succeed when we know she should fail because she hates white men. Why do you hate white men so much? No, I don't hate white people. I don't hate white people. I just hate trolls who lie on white people, on black people and Hispanic people and human people and just things in general, because they're trying to trick other people into getting angry for nothing. Because who is these cliques helping? It's helping them. What if then the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is destroyed from this? We get no more good movies. All these great movies that we get, then y'all be complaining about that. But y'all wouldn't blame the trolls. Those same trolls would get up and be like, why didn't you make me some more movies, assholes? All I did was took down one. God, quit crying, Kevin. Damn, Mr. Feige, acting like a little old girl, or what, I don't know. That's gonna get me in trouble, right? Yeah. And if you know what, there's no way of saving that. That's stuff that I used to say when I was a kid. You're acting like a little girl. That's something I used to say. Now I'm gonna get me too. Well. My whole point just went downhill from that. So let's just go on. There's no saving myself from that. Sorry. But you used to saying it. So my daughter's going to kick my ass for saying that. What do you mean acting like a little girl? I beat my brothers up every day. I'm like, yes, Cassidy, you're right. I'm sorry. So let me move on. So now that I'm in the hole, let me move on to the next one. So I want to talk about this whole thing. We're gonna move on to rumors and speculations, guys. Rumors and specs. So look, this whole thing with Lady Gaga being jealous over what's his face, Bradley Cooper's. What was that? What was it? Wasn't it? What wasn't it about at the Oscars? This whole thing is just weird, if you ask me. And you didn't, but here we're gonna talk about it anyway. So Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga just finished. They did this movie together, A Star Is Born. Lady Gaga is nominated for some Oscars. You know, they win the Oscar for like the song or something like that. But everybody wants to talk about the chemistry between Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper brought his longtime girlfriend, the mother of his child, with him to the Oscars. Now they say that Bradley Cooper and his lady they don't make public appearances a lot together. So for whatever reason, he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna come to the Oscars with me." So now here's the speculation part: is it because she's already aware of this thing between Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper? Everything was all good when Lady Gaga was engaged, but she recently ended her engagement. And all of a sudden, Bradley Cooper's girlfriend is like, "Nope, I'm coming down to the Oscars with you. I don't trust that, whatever." Maybe that is the situation. Maybe something happened on set. Maybe Bradley Cooper told his girlfriend, or maybe she just assumes it, right? But we don't know that. According to them, but they're just playing up the chemistry for the sake of the song performance and the movie, and it makes you want to go. Hell, I didn't even see this movie at the theaters, but after all this, I'm definitely gonna see this damn movie now, right? So it's working. This is marketing. This is how the game is played. This is what you do. You give this sense of availability. Like rappers do it all the time. Singers, musicians do it all the time. They could be married for 30 years, but they're gonna act single in public because they want those guys and girls who are attracted to them to buy the tickets, right? That's what happens. So maybe that's what's going on here, or maybe they had sex. Maybe he just like, I don't want to go through this, but then maybe he told his girl. And maybe she's like, I forgive you, but I'm going to watch you. And maybe that's why she was at the Oscars. And maybe that's why when they took this picture, Lady Gaga looks like she's really in heaven, and Bradley Cooper is like really playing up his acting abilities, because his girl is right behind him, counting the seconds that arm is on the shoulder. Who knows what it is? But the thing about it is, we don't know what it is at all. So let's just take these people at their word. I mean, Tiffany Haddish said it best. They look like, are they doing it? Because, I mean, damn. That was the best comment of the whole thing. So I'll just leave it at that. Question is, are they doing it? I don't know. Neither do you. They only know. Made for all we know, they got an arrangement going on. All three of them. Who knows? This is Hollywood, baby. We gotta sell those tickets. But everything in the dark would eventually come out to the light. So if it happened, it happened. If the question is, what is Bradley Cooper's girlfriend gonna do about it? That's the question. They ain't married. So, who knows? But I mean, me being look, I'm gonna talk to Brad. Brad, you could look like I saw you. You got. Hey, I love Lady Gaga. I think. Oh my God, I love Lady Gaga. Ever since Bad Romance, I've been in love with Lady Gaga, right? But Brad, you look like you got a real good woman, man. I saw adjusting your tie. She being real playful. Maybe that was all for Lady Gaga's benefit. That's right. That's right. He's mine. Doggone girl, he's mine. That's maybe she was doing that Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney thing. Bradley Cooper's mine. I'm gonna get that Rocket Raccoon tonight. Maybe. We don't know. That's why the show is called Rumors and Specs. We are speculating what we are seeing, and we are talking about the rumors now. I don't know if it's true or not. All I know is I just brought it up, and now we're talking about it. So maybe it is true. Who knows, right? But if it is, Brad, cut it out. You look like you got a real good woman there, man. Don't mess that up. And even if y'all do break up over this or over something else, don't get with Lady Gaga because everybody's just gonna make it to be that, and then that relationship will be doomed anyway. Just go home. Whatever it was that made her think that you did something inappropriate, got all the world, all the flitter, Twitter about it, then you need to apologize for that, just for the illusion of it. Like, what situation did you put yourself in to make that girl think that you were her boyfriend and you really mine and this and that and the other? You gonna have to apologize for that. All I did, baby, was I pointed the camera at her and said action, and then some stuff happened. You know, so just apologize and just move on. Most people always say, like, even if you know you didn't do anything wrong, just apologize anyway. I don't believe in that. That's stupid. But if you care about a person and their feelings are hurt, then you have a conversation with them. You're like, you know what? I'm sorry that this is happening because I didn't do anything wrong. But it's just so typical and stupid of Hollywood for everybody to try to smell blood in the water and try to come at our relationship like that. We ain't gonna let that happen to us, right, babe? Then you watch her. Whoever speaks first next loses. And if she goes, "Yeah, you're right," and you're like, "Yeah," and then you erase those text messages, whatever you and Lady Gaga were talking about. Because even if nothing happened, it's still gonna look suspicious. So just get rid of it. And she's like, I need to get with you, Brad, and talk about my character development. Nope. And just go move on because you don't need those problems, Brad. You don't need those problems. So just let it go, man. Don't get into that. So the next thing I wanted to get into, because that was just some stupid stuff that I don't know. I just wanted to talk about. But the next thing, man, I don't even have it all set up properly, but I'll try to get this thing off, get all situated and taken care of. Let me stretch. Let me do some technical difficulties. Work on this stuff right here, real quick. Let me stretch now. Okay. I don't even have my lower third set up in there. So anyway, and the next thing I want to do was a rundown. So let's just talk about the rundown. Let's get rid of the rumors and specs logo, and let's do a rundown, guys. So this is a list of the things that you thought. So if you might have watched the Oscars, you saw everybody was talking about one thing or another. Either it was Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, the fact that Kevin Hart wasn't there and all that stuff, but that's not the stuff that you should have been paying attention to. There were 5 major things going on at the Oscars that you just totally were just letting. I mean, you saw it, but you were just not, getting involved with it the way it needed to be discussed. So this is the 5 things that your butt should have been really paying. What was really going on at the Oscars that you guys should have been paying attention to. And let me go with the first one. So let me, if I can get the graphic up. So the first thing that was that I noticed that was going on, the actors that were really auditioning for the chance to host the Oscars, they came out. Tina Fey and them, they did a little joke about how they are not hosting, but if they were hosting, let these ladies host someday. I mean, they crushed it. It was funny. This was funny, and if this was a job interview, they crushed it. I think these ladies, all 3 of them, would crush hosting the Oscars. Obviously, without a host, they still ran smooth and everything. It was more focused on it, but for the pacing part of it, it kind of brings your attention back to it centers yourself, because without a host, our attention was kind of all over the place. It's probably why we're blowing this Lady Gaga crap all out of proportion. But with the host, we'll have something to focus us and get it moving along. As long as they don't drag out the jokes and stuff too much, which is a probability with these 3 ladies because they are funny and they are great hostess. But I think they did a good job with the little joke that they did with this pose of the art of hosting without hosting. So let's move on to number 2. The second thing that you forgot about and let fly through the radar, Glenn Close. Glenn Close came she descended from heaven and came and graced us with her presence at the Oscars. And I'm hearing that. I see, and I have to look it up. Glenn Close hasn't won an Oscar. Been nominated a bunch of times, right? And this was her time. This is it. This was it. Glenn Close was gonna get it. Now everybody. So when she didn't get it, and and the person, so everybody was making a big deal about. They thought that Glenn Close was about to go postal on everybody. She even had to change out of this dress because it was very heavy. She had a wardrobe change in the middle of it because she didn't want to be wearing it. So everybody's all thinking like Glenn Close feels like she knew she had this one locked up. She wore the greatest dress in the world to get what she has been owed for decades, and once again, she was snubbed and not even and didn't win. Nominated, but didn't win. So, Glenn Close, you all the bomb. I love you, and you will get an Oscar one of these days. I'm sorry, just 2019 wasn't your time. So the next thing that people are overlooking is this whole thing about the Oscars letting. Did you notice that I tweeted about it twice? Did you notice that the Oscars was really cutting the time on these acceptance speeches that these actors were giving up on the stage? But the people that they wouldn't dare cut the time for was a winner of a movie with like, for example, Black Panther, mostly all black cast, and this is the first time a black woman has ever won for best costume design and set design and things like that, and those were the first two Oscars right out the bat. So they let them have as much time as they wanted. They got up there, they thanked God, they thanked every creature on God's green earth, and they named them all by name. And they got all of it out. Like, I timed it like 2-3 minute long speeches. And the Oscars kept, I could tell that the producer probably had his finger on hovering over that play the music, play them out button, and somebody slapped them on the back of the head and say, "You bet not dare touch that damn button. Otherwise, we gonna get in so much trouble." So you notice that there were certain movies, certain categories, mostly major ones, or heavily minority or women or whatever. There's an agenda. They got all the time in the world. Average 2.5 minutes of speaking time. Everybody else, if it wasn't best actor, director, actress, co-stars and all that, those unless it was that, those guys pretty much got as much time as they wanted. But everybody else, it was like the second they got up on stage and the guy was like, music started playing, boom, right there, right off the bat, the guy was like, "I just like to wait, I didn't say anything yet. Get off the stage, this is Wakanda." I mean, everybody was going getting them off the stage. It was hilarious. I timed it. One dude got like 30 seconds. Another dude, there was another category where 3 people won their Oscars because it was a group, and I forgot what the category was. It was an Asian couple, and the wife got up there and did all that speaking, thanking everybody and all that. And her dress was a little see-through. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. But the second the husband was about to get up there, the second he opened his mouth, music was like, "Get off the stage, wrap it up, B." And all you could see was her apologizing to her husband for I was timing like, "Girl, you talking too long. Wrap this up. If anybody else is going to talk, you taking the time away." And that's exactly what happened. She was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." He was like, because he knew the cameras were still rolling. "It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." But who knows what happened behind the scenes? "What the hell was wrong with you? You talk too damn much. Every time. Even at our wedding. Yipping in what did Martin Lawrence say? Just yipping and yapping at the mouth." Now he's going to get divorced. She's going to take it all. And, he's going to get me too for that outrage. But so that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna move on to the fourth thing that you guys missed. This is probably the biggest one. My daughter and my sons even caught this because I forced them to watch the Oscars. When Stan Lee making yet again another cameo and crushed it at the Oscars, man. When my daughter and my son saw that we were honoring the memory of Stan Lee, his life at the Oscars, my daughter, "Stan Lee, oh my goodness." My daughter is always the first one, but my kids, all 3 of them, I've shown them all of Stan Lee's cameos. So now whenever they watch a Marvel movie or if they see anything, if Stan Lee's image, cartoon, doesn't matter, they recognize it. They recognize the glasses, they recognize the smile, they recognize the voice. They will pick him out. Is that Stan Lee? Yes, that's Stan Lee. My kids they crushed it. I was hoping that Stan Lee would be honored at the Oscars, and he was. And the thing I was really hoping for was that reaction from my kids. And the last thing, speaking of Stan Lee, speaking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the thing that we didn't realize that, yeah, so why can't we have a season 3 of Luke Cage? It looks like they follow the comic book. Jessica Jones is pregnant, y'all. And y'all remember what happened in season 1 of Jessica Jones, right? So why can't this be a thing? Look, it's cause and effect. This is what the real story is about the Oscars. The actress for playing Jessica Jones was revealing the fact that there is a path to another season of Luke Cage or The Defenders or something. Because yeah, that's got to happen. This is awesome. And doesn't she look great? Look, you know, they always say this when you're glowing and whatnot. She does. Look at this. Look at the dress. Look at how she stands. Very, very regal. Look like a queen, right? Like, look at that. But I can't tell if I'm looking at the left picture or the right picture. Look, I think she's a very, very beautiful woman. I feel like with her being pregnant, that was the first thing that just popped into my head. I'm like, why can't we have a season 3 of Luke Cage? Now, come on, you got her. She's pregnant. Go out there, put her in the Jessica Jones jacket, and take some pictures, and let's exploit this thing. I want my season. I'm one of those fans. I want my happiness. Forget about what else is going on in the world, right? But that's just me being silly though. But I just thought it was funny that was what was going on in the Oscars that hardly anybody was talking about. Everybody's all caught up on Bradley Cooper and whatnot. Those are some of the things that were really going on in the Oscars that nobody's talking about. Man, so so with that being said, let's move on to the last thing, and that is We Got Your Mail. Finally, at the major thing of the day. This is, well, for what is We Got Your Mail. So We Got Your Mail. Let me just pull this. Let me pull this graphic for a second here and fade it in. So on We Got Your Mail, and don't worry about what's gonna go on right there. You'll see the questions about to scroll up. So We Got Your Mail. You send me a email. Mail at T3Medias.com. You ask me anything you want to talk about. Anything movie related, TV related, or just something just to me. It doesn't matter. And it will be entered in. I want to do either a raffle or a drawing or something like that. But I'm gonna use what you bring to me, and I'm gonna honor you, and I'm gonna reward you for being a contributor to We Got Your Mail, because I like doing We Got Your Mail, and I want to help people out. So I said at the beginning of the show, and I want to say it again. So whenever you send me an official email at mail at T3Medias.com, you will either be, if there's a multitude of emails, then I'll do like a drawing. If it's just one, you got it. Or if it's just a few and there's a clear best question versus the other two, then I'll just give it to that person. But it all depends. But 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a drawing. A chance to win a gift card. So you like going to the movies or whatever your favorite thing is, and I'll contribute to it. I'm gonna send a gift card off to, maybe if you like going to AMC, I'll do an AMC or Regal, whatever your favorite movie theater is. Or if you have something else, if you want some money to be given on to your Netflix account, I'll cover a couple of those months, for bringing in and contributing to the We Got Your Mail segment. So send those emails in. That's the new thing. I want to encourage more conversations. I want to encourage more dialogue. So if you do send an official email, if I like the emails, and I like the questions that are sent in on Twitter and everything like that at T3Medias.com. But I really want those emails, guys. So send me an email, and you have a chance to win some prizes for it. So just keep that in mind. So with that being said, let me pull the graphic back up. Since I'm on the wrong thing now. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Let's bring this back up. So the first email official email that actually came in, and this here's your winner, Mike Shea. You are going to win a prize of. I'm going to send you a gift card to your favorite theater. If it's AMC, it'll be an AMC gift card. Well, just let me know what it is. But you sent an official email, and your question was, "What do you think about the upcoming Men in Black movie? Do you think it's unnecessary, and how do you feel about Hollywood redoing every idea they ever did with a female or an ethnic cast?" Look, I've tackled that one a lot before in the past. I don't care about them redoing certain things. There are some movies that I think is unnecessary to do only because of the obvious backlash. Look what's going on with the whole Brie Larson thing, right? They did the same thing to Wonder Woman. Like the rating was all down when they was clicking the buttons of a thing that you can manipulate even before seeing the movie. And that's exactly what's going on. They haven't even seen the movie yet, and they're trying to make it fail. But they claim they love Marvel. Because is it because she's a woman? No, or just because she said something, and one of those lines could be misconstrued as being something else, and she just said it in the wrong way. But even after she clarified it, then it should have been over. But they're still trying to throw their agenda onto it. There's just too many people out there with agendas, Mike, and people trying to get clicks and making stuff happen. So there's some movies like Mike, for example, like you saw in the you'll see on the graphic later on, Michael B. Jordan being cast as the Human Torch, Michael B. Jordan being considered for Superman, Will Smith all being considered for Superman. I mean, I've already said, why do these movies like that when you already know the backlash it's going to get you? When there are other characters who are female or black that you could just make a movie about them. There is a character called Icon from the Milestone DC universe that would be perfect for that. Will Smith could do that. That would be great. But are we getting that? No. Are we? I mean, Michael B. Jordan could play for some of the other, I remember Will Smith's son was considered for, talked about, Jaden Smith was talked about for Static. Yeah, I watched that cartoon Static Shock. That's also in the Milestone DCU. I've talked about this extensively. Now, maybe we're talking about the Fast and the Furious thing, how they're going to do a spinoff. They're doing Hobbs and Shaw, and they're going to probably do another spinoff for the female cast for the Fast and Furious movies. That, to me, that would be awesome. We've already seen all dudes handling business. Let's see what the girls can do. That'd be awesome. You're just gonna get some. It's just gonna expand the universe. It doesn't take anything away from anything else. So I think it's great. But like certain things, like the Ghostbusters thing, they were just trying something, man. It's not like there's a whole agenda to make everything that once was white now is making it black. I just see that it's just they're finally. I mean, there's more. I mean, you coming from a time when movies were first created, when black people couldn't and women probably couldn't even go into these theaters and watch, so they didn't have to target them. You ain't getting into that theater anyway. It's not in a lot of cases. So we ain't worried about you buying a ticket. You can't buy a ticket, so everybody's gonna look like this. But now it's not like that. You know, it's more and more people who are realizing that there's money to be made over here. That movie Coco, people didn't think that should have been made and whatnot. But look, it crushed, and it was a great story. There's more stories out there to be told that we're not seeing. There's a new horror movie from Hispanic folklore. I forgot the name of it. But she cries, the woman that cries, and she comes after your children or something like that. I didn't know anything about this story, but this obviously is something that's been heavily going on and been talked about in that country, the urban legend in that culture, in that background that I would have never known about unless they would have taken a chance on it, Hollywood taking a chance on it and letting us see it. And now I'm like, oh, that looks scary. I want to see that. So yes, like I don't have any problem with it. And I'm not just thinking, and plus I got skin in the game. I'm a black guy, dude. I don't want to just see one thing over and over again when I know there's other stories out there. So yes, I want to see a black guy or a woman or a Hispanic guy, an Asian guy get to tell their story or a cool, unique story too. But your question was more targeted about replacing and whatnot. It doesn't matter if it really doesn't matter. Like Superman, he's saying Superman is not a white man. He's not even from Earth. He's an Earthling that just happens. I mean, he's a Kryptonian that just happens to look like Kryptonians. Just from the Kryptonian perspective, they're not white men. They just their species just looks like what we call a white man. So it's just, I mean, because you know why they did it at the time. Because like I said, it was just the target audience, right? So, but if that's the situation, if there's an alien from another planet that favors or looks like black people or whatever, like the character Icon, but he was a shapeshifter, I think. He chose to look like that. Or if they happen to look like that, then I mean, just fine, just keep it that way. But if they decide to change it, Superman, Kryptonians happen to look like Asian people, and luckily he landed in a country that favors whatever he looks like, right, out there or whatever. Okay, that's called easy storytelling. We're gonna do this in Kansas. Make them look like a person from Kansas. This is easy storytelling. Let's just move this thing along. It was a Brooklyn superhero. He just happened. This species just happened to look like people from Brooklyn at the time. Like, you know, Brooklyn in the house. Just no problem. I tell you why they did it. It was in the script. That was the storyteller. It was his story. Let him write it. Instead of getting mad about that, more of these writers and stuff from other types of backgrounds and stuff, or other sexes or other ethnicities, should be allowed to come in with these new original stories. And then people who have done this old story and did different renditions of it to death wouldn't have to feel like, I gotta make this guy black and I gotta make this person a woman, and they wouldn't have to do that too much, because then we would be getting all these new original stuff, and then we can just leave Superman alone, or the whole thing with Captain Marvel and all that stuff. It probably wouldn't be happening. But that's just the way I see it. So I don't have a problem with changing stuff, because look, some of these characters aren't technically whatever we see them as anyway. Technically, if you want to get geek plus about it, but I also feel like it ain't worth dying on that sword about, when you have a bunch of original stories out there from other source material that you could be telling. Why worry about making Superman black when you got Icon and Static and Hardware? And don't get me started on the rest in peace, Dwayne McDuffie. All right, move on to the next question. Yeah, comes from this. This is all YouTube. Like I said, I don't mind getting all these. I'm gonna comment from my YouTube channel and T3 Media's at Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. I'm gonna comment to them all. I try to comment to all of it, but I really want these emails and mail at t3medias.com. But this is Apach003, and he's talking about my recapping of the TV show The Orville, and I was making the whole spectacle about how this was a big ripoff of Star Trek. It was not a ripoff, but a direct attack on Star Trek, and they were going after the Borgs and whatnot. He's corrected me. It's not Borgs. Borgs assimilate. Okay, Kalongs are about destroying. Borgs assimilate. Kalongs destroy. Fine. Okay, busted. I'm not a Star Trek guy. Okay. Barely can call me a Star Wars guy, right? I didn't get into Star Wars until my early 20s. I'm 39 years old now, right? But in my late teens, early 20s, I got into it more, and I'm a Star Wars kind of guy. But I never really was Star Trek. I used to watch, and I used to like that show Enterprise. I loved that show. I thought that was great. But it takes a more updated Star Trek for me to be interested in watching Star Trek, and that's why I like the movies. And that's why I love The Orville, because it feels like a modern, more. It's weird to say because it's so damn ridiculous at a Family Guy level, but it's more. It's more serious, because even though they're outrageous, the people are outrageous. And we deal with serious stuff. People deal with serious stuff. I feel like they found a balance of the outrageous and serious and found a perfect platform for it, and that's The Orville, man. And for some reason, I buy that type of future than a lot of the Star Trek stuff. It just seems like that's how we're going to be acting in the future. Just freaking ridiculous, right? So, sorry that I didn't know that the Borgs assimilate and the Kalongs destroy. But Isaac's going to have some explaining to do later on tonight. And I'm going to make an announcement on that a little bit later, too. So, surprise is coming after this one. Okay, so the next one comes from John Owens, also from YouTube. He goes, talking about The Dark Knight. Like, Nolan was smart enough not to make Batman franchise with the cinematic universe. going on to the whole cinematic universe thing, and what's going on now with Batman being taken out of the picture and all that stuff. And but he was smart, yeah. But that was also a non-negotiable thing. You want me to direct one of these movies and stuff, make a trilogy for you? Then it's just gonna be. I want to create a world where a Batman, if a rich person with these means wanted to do it, could do it. And just so happens that these villains also arise up at the same time. That means no Superman, no Wonder Woman, no none of that stuff. DC tried. They tried to make him change his mind on that but it would have been Brandon Routh's Superman Returns version. Now Henry Cavill was also in the running to play that in Superman Returns, but it turned out the way it turned out. Would it be weird? What if Brandon Routh would have been our current Superman that we have in the DCEU, and Henry Cavill would be on the CW right now because his career took a turn? Wouldn't that be weird? Imagine that for a second, right? But probably not. All right, the next one comes from Susie Birdo, some 009. Jeb the janitor? Okay, if anybody of y'all been seeing my recaps lately, and Mr. Star of Truth also says that they need to have this man on the Orville show. On the show, I agree. Jeb the janitor. I guess I'll do it right now. I said I was gonna wait to the end of it, and no. I'll announce it at the end of this video. Make you wait for it. Yeah, right. Wait for it. So the next one comes from it was a long one, also about the Orville. This is Kermit Frogger. He says, Captain Ed Mercer should not let Isaac come back for these five reasons. So we was going back and forth about will Isaac Isaac's obviously gonna save the day, and tonight we're gonna see how, right? But he's bringing logic into this. So Isaac is obviously gonna save the day, and he's gonna be allowed to come back into the with arms wide open, because it's in the script. But here's the 5 reasons that Kermit Frogger says he should not be. Officers died upon the Orville because of this relaying info to the rest of the Kalanites. Number 2, I'm sure the surviving children of those officers who died are traumatized. How would they feel seeing Isaac just walking around after that? Very good point. Was Isaac a part of the genocide slaughter on Kalong 1? We don't know how old Isaac is, or even if its memory banks was transferred into another unit over time. The sentient life on Kalong 1 most likely had children, pregnant females. Try to visualize Isaac walking around and blasting them in schools and cribs and hospitals. It's horrifying. Number 4, even if Isaac wasn't a part of the genocide, it was trying to determine. Man, you splitting hairs now. You're like, yeah, he did it, and then but if he didn't do it, I still hate his ass. Even if Isaac wasn't a part of the genocide, it was trying to determine whether Dr. Claire Finn's children should live or not. That was a logical decision, man, based from a robot's perspective, sir. Covertly along with the rest. So you trying to say that he was trying to sprinkle in a little genocide before the genocide on the Orville? Come on, man. You splitting hairs now. Along with the rest of the crew. That's savage. It is savage, though. but he's an absentee dad. That's like really savage. I mean, Isaac is like, your drawing. Even if Isaac's thoughts were altered during its reactivation, it still knew what its mechanical army would have done and planned on eliminating until billions in the galaxy, trillions. Because a planet can have billions. Look at ours. We're talking trillions of people. If you destroy one planet, that was probably billions right there. You come to Earth, 20. What year is this? You probably already at overpopulation. Maybe they scaled it up. Maybe they scaled it down. People can leave. So maybe another 5 billion there. If these things get what they want, we're talking genocide at the trillion level. It's crazy numbers, man. For this fake show that doesn't really exist. Even if Isaac plans to eliminate untold billions in the galaxy, even if Isaac changed its mind, came down to it. Ooh, that's cold. That's Kermit. You are cold-blooded. Could you eat, sleep, and work with it standing and sitting next to you? Maybe I couldn't. But the people in the Orville are more evolved than we are nowadays. They're more tolerant. Maybe. But I co-signed on this one. I answered him. And I told him. I said, hey, look, the only problem that I have with this theory is that Isaac being a robot 100% in the beginning, it's like blaming a toaster for shocking someone. The toaster can't be blamed for how it was designed and created. But when Isaac became sentient and had a conscience, then he was able to redeem. He was able to stop when he realized what he was doing. Because you're a robot. You can't go against your programming. You can't. You're going to be programmed to do what you do. But if my Xbox realized that I wasn't playing to my fullest extent, my ability, and would refuse to allow me to play PUBG until I did better because I suck, then that's on it. I mean, I couldn't blame it for allowing me to play because he's doing what I was making it do. But if it woke up one day and was like, Chris, you suck. From that moment, it was no longer my stupid nothing Xbox. It's now its own living thing, blocking me from playing my games that I would probably throw in the trash because you blocking you a damn cock blocker. But that's what I was saying. So from that point, when he became sentient and really cared and really understood what feelings are, that's when he's going to redeem himself. It's not even necessarily redeeming himself. That will be the day he wakes up. Everybody's been talking to Isaac as if he wasn't a robot. They've been trying, and that's what human beings do. This thing can walk and talk and think and stand on its own. So we must force a sentient or love within it. And we get mad at the robot for not knowing that Dr. Finn wanted to, climb that dildo that thinks is what I called him and whatnot. It's a robot. But the second he started to realize I do care, and you never notice those pauses that every one of those times that Isaac was holding a piece of paper or looking like he was thinking and thought, even though he thinks that trillions of times faster than we do, but he took the time to stop for a few seconds and really ponder something. He's struggling with that's feelings being put into his heart. And that's what's happening. That's why that's not why he's not deciding to do it in a millisecond. He's still a slave to his programming, and then in real time, in human time, struggling with real feelings that are coming from nothing, and like a big bang, exploding. So from that moment, when he makes a final decision, that's when he's gonna. And I said. So the second Isaac decides to go against this programming, and will be the moment he actually gains a soul, kind of like how Spike from the Buffy TV show earned his soul. It wasn't just thrown on him like that punk ass Angel. Spike went out there and got that stuff like that from the Buffy Vampire Slayer series. That was me. That was my response to it. That's how I see it. But then Kermit co-signed after that a couple of days later. However, let's see. I think he went on for a while, but I ain't gonna do it. However, I believe with all their mechanic parts, what's driven them to destroy is fear. But fear of what? Yes, fear of being turned off. I mean, the second you become sentient and self-aware, you don't want to be shut down. That's death. They feel like they have more to give to the galaxy, so they don't want to be turned off. Their need to expand is because they want to evolve without impediment. Too much some new transformations. Those 2 points are emotions. And he said, and then someone else co-signed. Somebody else got into it, man. Star Trek Theory got into it. Kermit. I'm liking the show because the more I think about the robots wanting to kill everyone, the more I'm disgusted with the fanboy support everyone has for the interracial sex episode a while back. What outrage about interracial sex? Can you honestly tell me that Flynn's boys wouldn't be better off with one of the black red shirts? No, because the red shirts get killed. That got killed. As a father figure. Now I'm gonna put the tinfoil hat on, Star Trek Theory. Why are you trying to force black folks to be raised without a dad? I mean, my dad wasn't in the picture for me, and you right there, I would probably rather have had Isaac. If my mom was never gonna find anybody else, which she eventually did, she's with a great guy. But if let's say she never was gonna find somebody or found Isaac first, and let's just take away the whole genocide thing first. Let's just say robot talking dildo that thinks for the rest of her life. I would have rather that than nothing. Cause I felt like I needed somebody, and a lot of my uncles and stuff came into the picture a lot, so they filled the void up and whatnot. But I could have been those statistics that would have went out and did some bad stuff and trying to get a father figure like that. I would have rather that than nothing at all, and I would have rathered Isaac than a guy who's destined to die. One of those red shirt guys, hell no. Why I can have Isaac forever or a dude that's destined to die. Why put that on that dude? Give me a random black guy. Here's his red shirt. You're going to die in about a week, but you better love my mom and then teach me how to throw the ball before you die. Why would you do that to him? That's just weird. Now who's the genocidal guy now? It seems like it's you, Star Trek theory. Shame. 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 Can you honestly tell me the Finch boys wouldn't have been better off with a black red shirt that got killed as a father figure? Yes, I can. I'm a black guy telling you this. Dude, what is up with you? But the ability to evoke emotions is what makes these shows good. So I gotta give it that. I'll say so. I think you kind of gave it to Isaac at the end of it, but that was kind of weird, dude. And then Ben's Wise co-signed on Kermit. Isaac also withheld information of the genocide from the Union and the Orville leadership. He was never really a part. This was a trial to decide to join. That was the ruse. That's what his programming told him to do. He boarded the ship with the invaded force that killed people who attacked his going away party. He was not pictured killing anyone, of course. In my opinion, how can Claire and how can she bring her boys back to someone involved in invading the ship and is complicit in any way in his programming, in death in those crewmates? The way the writers wrote it, Isaac has not resisted the rest of the Kalons, or he was seeming under the influence of them programming. Neither speak to Isaac. There's no free will, ability to act independently. He's gaining free will. Claire's kids and them seeing the bodies of the rest of the reside. Why are y'all painting these gruesome scenes? They probably didn't see. They have seen people get killed before. This is the future. After all these video games that we're exposing ourselves and these kids to nowadays, you don't think 200 years in the future they're like, another one bites the dust? They don't care. They have a hologram room where you can slice up a dude or have sex with it. They don't get. They simulate alcohol and they got drunk. These kids are living a sweet life right now, man. They don't care. I wonder how they would not associate that death with Isaac and the Kalons. You bring up additional points. Yes, you are right. Children and the pregnant women. You see any pregnant women? Were most likely victims of the genocide if it happened. I think the writers would have Isaac credited after the genocide to free it or distant it from any sins of that or taint it. Possibly. That's one way to disassociate yourself. I never myself partook. I'm a new unit. I'm a new evolved unit that was created way after that genocide. But I knew it. I knew of it. Surprise! I see that. That's one good way. There you go. There's one good way around it. I think Isaac was just collecting data on the Orville. I believe he found out about the Kalon's plan. No, there's no way. Because he said, "Are we going forward with the?" He knows there was no reason not to tell him. It's in his programming. You don't say anything about this because he knows the truth about the Kalon's history. So he was programmed not to reveal it. So he knew. Plans. Funny how the Kalons condemn biologicals from certain behaviors, but they engage in it themselves. No, they don't see it as a robot wouldn't see it as genocide because they don't. I mean, do you see it as a homicide or a genocide when you step on an ant, when you kill a cockroach? I'm sure the cockroach has some feelings about that shit. But but if you are so evolved above, you don't care. They're flies. Human beings are probably flies to these people. And they tell them every day, in the beginning of that episode, oh yes, this is correct. I am way smarter than you. But only Isaac will save the day, perhaps by his adaptive programming, which is what I said. But I'm likely to trust or like Isaac less. But that's what I always say. Yeah, you can forgive you. I'm gonna watch you. But I was suspicious given all the prior science fiction stories of an android from the start, given why androids have a humanoid form. Humanoids often create them in their own image. That I thought the same thing. Why is Isaac taking a humanoid form if it's a world? It had to have started by. I assume maybe either they were created and then their creators died, or they agreed to, like the way we a limb gets ripped off and we put a robot arm up in there or something like that. Eventually, we intelligent creatures eventually probably will evolve themselves into mechanical, only to prolong their life and to keep their stories. We send drones out in space. We don't send that many people out there to die. We send drones. So this is Earth, and that satellite is still out there sending a message and the coordinations to our planet, to be found one day, right? Or it might get hit by an asteroid someday and get blown up. Hopefully, I don't want that. But we send drones out. So either they became robotic later on in life, which is what I think Isaac explained it, or they died, and the robots are what's left. It's the only two ways to have it happen. Either we voluntarily put our brains into these things and we live on like that, or eventually become 100% robots, or we die. And because the robots killed us, or we just died because we knew we were going to die. Something tragic probably happened to the planet. Walking around and talking about having a home planet but not sharing much information about its history was very suspect. And I had to, because he went on for a long time, so I didn't want to co-sign too much. And Kermit co-signs after that and gets on by. Thanks for replying, man. Ben Wise. Side note, I hope writers don't eliminate the new security chief, Talia, to bring in Laura. It would be an awesome. I hope the writers don't eliminate the new security. I would be an awesome story, but I would have to stop watching it for a while. So I guess he started talking about bringing Alaya back. I don't think she's coming back, and I think Talia has got us involved enough. I think I care for her now. Number one, true. Isaac didn't physically kill anyone, but it helped. He helped orchestrate it. Number two, I agree on the human level. Isaac should have resisted. Why? He's a dildo that thinks. Why are you putting so much human stuff on this robot who's creating it himself? Let the man evolve on his own time. He sees his girlfriend and children in danger. He's not going to let that shit happen. I think Isaac, the second he started caring about those people, he knew that stopping this invasion was not possible. Because look how fast they were able to turn them off. But I think without telling them, he couldn't, and he couldn't warn the Orville about it, because look how fast they turned him off. And if they would have did that, then that means, and as advanced, and people look at the Orville was afraid to even go down there. And they were like, look, we'll just leave, and look, like the Union is afraid of the Kalons for good reason. They don't need to eat, they don't need to sleep, they just make weapons, and they're intelligent. They probably have 10,000 billion ways of defeating the Union and whatnot. This is why they want them to work with, and now so Isaac warning them from the beginning. For all you know, they were monitoring Isaac's speeches and thoughts and stuff like that. So he probably was keeping his stuff in check and whatnot. Because if he would have pre-warned them, who knows, that could have caused that send a couple of missiles out there to destroy Earth altogether. You don't know what it would have caused. We'll probably find out today, but we don't know, man. So give Isaac a pass. You keep forcing all this stuff on Isaac, man. Let's just see what the writers said. Let me skip ahead a little bit. Number 3, if you're referring to when Claire verbally pushed Isaac to sing their children, Last time on the Orville, I do understand Claire. She wanted her two kids to have closure. Children don't think like adults. From their perspective, they saw a father die, but to hear it lived and didn't want to see them would have been more damaging. Yeah. And yeah, just like what I said, Jeff the janitor found that picture that Isaac dropped on the floor. He said, "Oh, your punk ass robot dad don't like you no more. Here you go, little lightning bug. He just dropped it on the floor right there. Yeah, deal with that. If Isaac were created afterwards, then it helps to smidge it. That's like I said, to acceptance. But Isaac knew about the genocide. Yep, that's exactly. He just co-signed exactly what I said, and he went on for a minute about it. So you guys can read that for yourselves. I can't read all that. Ben Wisely responded back and said, regarding number 3, I'm actually talking about Claire possibly reconsidering being with Isaac in the future, which I think will happen, of course, because it's a love story. Your point, Isaac's behavior has created concern and trauma thus far for a while. The writers will reconcile the two, an emotional erase of many in the audience. I'll be left questioning the rational. Why? It's just a TV show regarding number 7. If it was all out war, if the Union needs those space orcs who were kicking Krill Heine. Oh man, y'all went far on these cosigns, man. Back to Ben Wisey, I agree. It's still 40% comedy, so he could return with too much of a ruckus. And then Zoran. Okay. And that was the end of it. So, oh man, look, guys, Isaac is just a robot, man. That's what he was from day one. You couldn't go against his programming. And for all we know, if he did from the very beginning, it would have caused a massive attack, which we probably, with the Orville, probably would have lost. These guys think on a whole different level. We would have to have created robots like those things to fight against those things, which could have backfired if they would have taken over. It's just too many problems. So Isaac keeping this mission on the down low and then secretly getting feelings for us was probably, look at Endgame. Look at Doctor Strange seeing that one. This was probably the one outlet where we only win, one scenario where we could win. Isaac has probably already deduced that one possible way we could win. And I'm sorry, Redcoats, it means a lot of y'all gotta die. But that's why I'm not wearing that red outfit, man. It's just stupid. Look. All right, so the next one comes from Zoran. I think everyone is missing the point. The real question is, going to Liam Neeson. Is Liam Neeson racist? Should he be canceled? But can a man change? Should we demonize someone who seeks redemption? Redemption through confession, because it can lead to more interesting questions. Can a society change? That's the last one. He had questions. Liam Neeson said that let me do something real fast. Liam Neeson said that oh man, hold on one second. Let me make sure this is all correct. Okay. So sorry, I got some technical difficulties. Liam Neeson said that he had a friend who got raped and had a thought of finding a guy who fit the description. He said it wouldn't matter what the description was. Whatever she said it was, what he would have been looking for. Look, and the person that raped his friend was a black guy. So back in the day, he was looking for a black guy to kill. And then luckily he didn't find one that got in his face to do it. And before too long, a week later, he's like, "This is stupid. I shouldn't do this to myself." And he was talking about what rage does to people. Liam Neeson is lucky that it sucks that this is the way I'm thinking about it, because if it wasn't for Jussie Smollett's dumbass thing that he's probably going to be found guilty of doing, a much more racist thing, right? We're talking about Liam Neeson thinking about hurting a black guy because he was black for the revenge of a friend of his. and whatnot, and then stopping himself from making that mistake. We're now talking about a black guy who actually executed defrauding the police and filing false police reports and ginning up a bunch of already stirred up hate against blacks and gays from a black gay man. Man, I couldn't write this story better. So Liam Neeson's probably at home like, woo, man, I'm glad they ain't talking about me no more. Because I was in trouble. Oh, sorry, Jesse. Got to take one for the team. Got to go. See you when I see you. So, yeah, Liam Neeson is probably like, whoo, that was close. Only in America. Only in America. But, yeah, kind of off the hook, ain't he? Kind of a little bit off the hook right there, ain't he? But, look. What Liam Neeson did was he thought about hurting somebody and he didn't do it. So it's good. He would have, man. Dude, could you imagine that story was different? I found a black guy and I killed him. What? Now that's something that I now couldn't be. I thought about doing it. I went out seeking it. And it never happened. But there's nobody's talking about it no more, right? We've already moved on. This story isn't juicy enough. Jussie Smollett, now he did something. Let's get him. R. Kelly, some new evidence. Let's form Voltron. Attack! They're moving on to the more sexier story. Liam Neeson's gonna be fine. Ain't nobody worried about Liam Neeson's no more. Forgiven. Let me know what you guys think, man. Like I said, look, if you want to send a question to me, I would appreciate it if it's in the official capacity. Mail at T3medias.com. Send it in. Let me know what you guys think. And till next time, guys.